Hello everyone, this is Mazarex, and it's the 5th episode of coding a Discord bot in JavaScript. In this episode, we're going to go over member joining, get auto roles a member join, and member leaving. So what that means is when a member joins, it's going to send an announcement to a specific channel, and then it's going to give that member some auto roles, so automatically give it roles. And then when the member leaves, it'll also send an announcement message. So to get started, we're actually going to, in the events, we're going to create a new folder called guild member add. Now remember, the name of these event folders have to relate to names of actual events. So if I show an example, if I just say client.on, just to show the list full of a list of events, as you can see, I have all these events. If you want more detailed, you can actually go into Discord.js documentation, and then simply go to events, and it shows you all the events. And when this event isn't actually that good, so you can actually go events, this. Actually, you can just look for the other one, this one. And this is a more detailed way of all the events there is. It shows you exactly what it returns, or what the parameter. You can click on it, it shows you all the things you can do and all the things you can get, like the properties and the methods. So the docs are really great. This is the discord.js.org/docs. So to get started here, I'm going to go guild member add. We're going to create a new file called announce.js, because don't forget, the way we've made this event handler, well, I didn't make it. I have to thank Eisen because I copied it from him. Anyway, so each folder is the event, and each file inside is a script, and each script, because there's going to be multiple. For example, in this one, there's also going to be another file, give roles.js. Each of these scripts will get executed because they're in this folder, which is really cool. So you're going to create a new event called module export. We're going to make a client and message member. Actually, I'm not sure why I said message. I'm going to say const announcement channel ID, because don't forget, all this does here is announce something to a server. So actually going to make the announcement channel ID this channel. So just right click on the channel, press copy channel ID. If you have developer mode on, which just search up on YouTube or YouTube or Google how to enable dev mode if you don't have it, and say const announcement channel equals member.guild. I think that's what I called wrong. Member.guild.channels.cache.get, and then announcement channel ID. Don't forget, don't use fetch, because if you use fetch and the channel doesn't exist, it won't. There's no way to handle it gracefully. It'll throw an error and crash the bot. The reason why I place channel ID as a separate variable is because it allows you to easily change it rather than having the actual ID here. And you might have multiple times where you're gonna fetch announcement channel ID. It's just easier to do it this way. And you can have it. You can have your actual ID here. It doesn't change much, but make sure it's a string. Don't make it a integer, because it's too big to be an integer and you'll create problems. As you can see, we'll say here, yeah, too big to accurately represent as integers. That means it will get shortened and it won't be a real channel ID. So it's a string. I'm gonna say if there is an announcement channel, I'm gonna try console.log member the user. So we're gonna get the user out of the member, because don't forget, the member is a guild member, which means they don't have any properties that a user might have. But if you remember the user, now this has all the actual properties for the user, such as the username, the creation date, everything adjacent to that, and has joined. And then announcement channel .send, and then you're gonna have a nice message. We're gonna say welcome. This is the format for inviting a user. This is the format for a user. I mean, for mentioning a user in Discord. For example, you have your ID here, and it will mention a user. And then to have a channel, for example, channel is this, and channel ID, and then a role is this, and the role ID. But because we're doing a user, it's just opening I can't remember what these symbols are called, and then the @ symbol, and then it's inside right after that symbol is the actual ID, which is simply going to be member.user.id. Welcome to member.guild name. I prefer saying member.guild.name instead of saying the actual guild name, because you never know, you might change your guild name, you forget to change it here, it'll look weird. If you do member.guild.name, it's just automatic. You can also make it look a bit better, maybe add some of these symbols here. It looks way better this way. New line, that's not new line because I'm using the British keyword. New line, you are the member.guild.member count. Now this returns the amount of members in the guild. Remember, now this will look kind of weird if there is less than 4 people in the guild, because if you have one person, it will say oneth. If you have 2 people, say tooth. 3 people, say threeth. If you want to add extra validation to say, for example, say first, second, and third, depending on whatever, you can. I'm gonna keep it as th. Well, you can. It's kind of hard. You can kind of check if it ends with a 3, if it ends with a 2, if it ends with a 1, it'll do that instead. It's possible, but I don't see the need for it, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. You can also make this an embed, although I am actually gonna enclose this into a content like that. You can do it either way, but I'm gonna do it this way. So basically, you could make this an embed, very possible. I'm not going to, I don't see the need, but you can. You follow the previous tutorial on banning, for example, which does use embeds, as you can see. So you can follow this tutorial, also use the documentation from discord.js to create your amazing embed. Also, there's a website called discord.js.guide, which shows you very detailed on how to do all this. Well, yeah, and now we're actually done. For your tries, we have to catch our errors, otherwise it won't work. So you say console.error. Now if there is no announcement channel ID, then we're gonna log to the console, which is gonna console the error. So no, it's just a log. It's not an error, it's just the channel doesn't exist. Okay, member.user.username joined, however announcement channel ID is not a valid channel. There we go. So if the bot, for example, cannot see the channel, if the bot cannot if the channel doesn't exist, let's say in this type DID, it will throw this error, just to let you know. Now to give roles, we're gonna quickly copy basically the same code here, except we're gonna get rid of all this. Wow. So the way I'm gonna do it is, let's say you want to add multiple roles to a user, right? When a member joins, you want to give them multiple roles. This also works. This is the way I'm going to do it. Also works for only one role, but I'm going to do it so you can undo multiple roles. So first, I'm going to make a try and say const role IDs, and it's going to be an array. Now here I'm going to have. Why is it changed again? That's so strange. There must be a key for that. So as you can see, you put your role IDs here that you want to give to the member on join. On my Discord server, I actually created a few roles, such as VIP and member. So when a member joins, they're going to get member. But because they were using a 1 week special, when a member joins, they also get VIP. Yeah, so cool. And we're going to say const. Well, let's explain. So this contains all the IDs for all the roles. Now you can't simply assign a role to a member using an ID. You have to convert the ID into a real role, which you can then assign to a member. So I'm going to convert these IDs into roles, saying roles to add equals role IDs dot map, then role ID member.guild dot role member.guild.roles dot cache dot get role ID, which is basically, this is going to be one of these because we're mapping it. So it's going to get one of these role IDs, which is either for second one, and it's gonna get its actual role, and you're gonna say dot filter role into role. It's a very simple way of doing it, and this now converts the role IDs into an actual role. This converts the array of role IDs to an array of actual roles. Now we're gonna say if roles to add dot length is more than 0, which means there is actually roles to add. You're gonna member dot roles to add and then roles to add. As Discord supports adding multiple roles at the same time, you could instead create role IDs as the same, but instead of doing this, you can make a for loop and add each role individually. However, if you have, well, it will clog up the audit log. It will spam saying member has given this role, given this role, given this role. If you're logging when a member gains a new role, it will also fill up your logs. And this is just, well, it's one line, but because I'm using prettier, it probably will convert it to 3 lines. But it's a very simple code that will basically convert to an array, which you can then simply add it to the member. And I'm going to quickly catch console.error, just in case there is an error of adding the rows. I'm going to say else if it's less than 0 or equal to 0, but it's kind of impossible to have less than 0. We're going to say console.error no valid rows found to add to this member. And make sure we're going to catch error console.error error, and that is giving rows. It will try to give so once again, going over, it's gonna get the role IDs, it's gonna convert them into it's gonna convert the IDs into real roles, and it's gonna add those roles to the member. Now if you only have one role to add, you can still do this just like that. Now if you only have one role and you don't want all this excess code, which is fine, you can actually do it this way. Try const role ID equals your role ID, let's say member. I might have just copied an extra symbol, I have. And then say const role equals member.guild roles.cache.get role ID, and then we're simply gonna do member.roles.add row.catch console.error and catch error console.error error. Just like that. Well, I don't think we technically need this because it's already in a try catch, but I'm gonna keep it in anyway. As you can see, that's if you have multiple roles, and this is only if you have one role. It's up to you. I'm gonna have multiple roles to add because everyone who joins gets VIP straight away. Why wouldn't they? So yeah, now the next thing we're gonna do is when the member leaves, we're actually gonna make a new event called guild member remove, I believe it is, and then it's gonna be the same as announce.js. Announce.js. The code is essentially the same, so we're just gonna keep the channel the same. We're just gonna change up some of these things. Well, the actual announcement channel will be different. I'm gonna say unfortunately has left member.guild name. This means the guild now has members. There you go. Just like that. Essentially the same. We can test if this works. Don't forget by going to a new terminal and typing in node/index.js or whatever the path is to your index. And as you can see, everything's been registered. All our commands have been registered from previous episodes. Now I'm going to quickly invite my alt just to make sure this works, because obviously I have to trial and error to make sure this works. If there's any errors, I want to make sure those errors are apparent. So we're going to invite people, copy invite link, add a server, join server, and join server. As you can see, welcome Namazarex to ASCA. It's very loud. You are the 3rd member, you see what I mean. It will look weird. You can add that validation if you want. I don't see the need to. You could even structure your welcome message in such a way that you have to add the th. Like for example, the guild now has this many members. That works as well. On join, they also get VIP and member. And then when they leave or when they get kicked, it'll say, unfortunately, not Madrock has left ASCA. This means the guild now has 2 members. Once again, you could make this an embed if you want. I'm not gonna do that in this episode because we don't need to. Anyway, this is the entire episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.